In this tutorial we will look at the Open University's virtual microscope and how to examine rock thin sections in one of the collections. Here we are looking at the Irish University Rocks collection and the IG1 granite sample. The sample details page may, or sometimes may not, provide information on the minerals present in the thin section, the geographic source location of the rock sample, the age of the sample, and some other additional details. Click View Microscope to open the Virtual Microscope viewer. The Virtual Microscope viewer opens to display the sample in plain polarized light. The vertical and horizontal grids will show the scale of the thin section in millimeter units. You may see a scale bar. Quite often this is 1 millimeter. To zoom in to a higher magnification or to zoom back out, drag the slider at the bottom of the Virtual Microscope viewer. To pan and move the image around, click with the left button on your mouse and drag the image. Here we are zooming in on a biotite crystal. You'll notice as you zoom in and pan around, sometimes it takes a moment for the display to come into focus. That's normal. To switch between plain polarized light and crossed polars, click on the buttons at the lower left of the Virtual Microscope viewer. Here we see our biotite crystal in the center of the viewer. To the left is some muscovite. Here we have a large quartz crystal and some microcline. To measure a feature, click on the Measure tool in the lower right of the screen. Hold down the left mouse button and drag to release. To measure angles, click on the Measure button in the lower right of the screen again, and it changes to angle. Draw one line, and then draw a second line. The angle is measured between the two lines. To record the location of a feature, drag the crosshairs in the upper left of the viewer. You'll notice as you move the cursor around, it gives the coordinates in millimeters. If you want to record and even share a particular view of the thin section, click on the Share button. Copy the web address and paste this into an email, web page, or document. When you or someone else clicks on the shared link, the Virtual Microscope will open and it will display the exact same view that you have recorded, at the same zoom level and the same lighting conditions, PPL or XPL. To save an image, right-click on the image, click Save Image As, and save into a folder on your desktop. This image can then be opened in a standard image viewer or inserted into a Word document, PowerPoint presentation, web page. An important aspect of mineral identification is the ability to rotate the thin section, either in plain polarized light or in crossed polars. You may have noticed the numbered red-colored circles called hotspots. Clicking on a hotspot takes you to two circular views, one in plain polarized light and the other in cross polars. The views can be rotated by clicking on either image and dragging in a circular movement. It would not be possible using a normal physical microscope to view both of these images at the same time. The virtual microscope allows you to view both pleochrosm and bifringence simultaneously. You can also share these views by clicking on the Share button. To go back to the main thin section view, click on the Back button. To leave the sample thin section and return to the sample details page, click on the X upper right.